Parshiyos Acharei Kedoshim Tavshin Pei Hey. Want to welcome everybody who came here. Some of the boys making a siyum here tonight. Very, very siyum on Zeph Marcus. It's very chashuv. Very, very pretty, very amazing. We learned it along with the Daf Yomi, and we're very, very proud of them. So I hope you enjoy your beautiful Suda here. And in the meantime, we're going to do our Nesivos Shalom shir for the two Parshiyos. No extra charge for the second Parshiyah. We're giving you a shir on two Parshiyos for the same price as you get every week. And in the second of this week's Parshiyos, Parshas Kedoshim, the Torah tells us the tzivui of Kedoshim Tihiyu Ki Kadosh Ani Hashem Elokeichem. And I'll read you the pasuk. The Torah says, Daber el kol adas b'nei Yisrael. Speak to kol adas, the entire Klal Yisrael. V'yomar aleim. You should say to them, Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu, Kedoshim Tihiyu. You should be holy, but why? The pasuk gives a reason. Because Ki Kadosh Ani Hashem Elokeichem. You should be Kadosh, you should be holy, because I, Hashem says, because I am holy. And the Nesivos Shalom asks, why does the Torah have to give a reason to have Kedusha? Ki Kadosh Ani Hashem Elokeichem. Why is Hashem? There could be a tzivui in the Torah, as there is in other places in the Torah, that we like V'yisem Kedoshim, you should be holy. And yet the Torah, we see for some reason the Torah has to deliver that message that you should be holy because Hashem is holy. Why do we need this reason? And so too, the Nesivos Shalom asks, what is this unique lashon that we find over here? Daber el kol adas b'nei Yisrael. That we're giving a tzivui here, and we're saying the Torah is telling us that you should speak to everybody in the nation, everybody in Klal Yisrael. Most of the time, when there's a tzivui in the Torah, it's just given. Why does it have to say speak to everybody? Everyone has to be here. Everyone is involved in this. What is going on? So first, Nesivos Shalom tells us that we need to understand a very, very important fact before we even get into answering these questions. We need to understand that the Torah is telling us off the bat that each and every Yid has Kedusha inside them. Every Yid is inherently Kadosh. Every Yid has Kedusha inside the person. And it's our job to actually watch over this Kedusha and preserve it. Make sure not to mess it up. You have Kedusha inside you. The Torah is telling us that every Yid has Kedusha, and it's your job to watch over it and to preserve it. As we know, we've mentioned many times, at the building of the Mishkan, the Torah says, the Asuli Mikdash. Hashem says, make for me a Mikdash. V'shochanti b'soicham. And the Torah does not use a lashon of v'shochanti. Technically, it should say, make for me a mikdash, v'shochanti b'soichai, and I will dwell in it. Hashem should say that I'm dwelling in it. Yet Hashem said v'shochanti b'soicham, and Chazal tell us that b'soicham means that is in every one of you. Hashem says, build for me a mishkan. Build for me a mikdash, b'shochanti b'soicham, plural, inside every person. That every person is a small Beis HaMikdash. Every person is a small Mishkan, a place where Hashem rests, a place where Hashem puts Kedusha. And it's a gather of, like the Torah says by Parshas Korach, Ki chol ho'edah kulam kedoshim, Everybody, right? Everybody's Kodesh. U'v'soicham Hashem. And among them, inside them, u'v'soicham, in every person has that Kedusha inside them. And if you try to get in touch with it, maybe you could even feel it. But Hashem is saying here, you have to preserve that Kedusha. That Hashem is within every one of us, and we need to make sure not to drive this Kedusha away. And it's actually Hashem, it's Hashem who takes this Kedusha and He places the Kedusha inside every one of us. The Birkas Avram, Nesivos Shalom brings down the Birkas Avram, who says, B'shem, Rebaruch, Mimezvej, Zechusa Yagan Aleinu. We say, as we know when we say in benching, Kedoshenu, Kedosh Yaakov. They were asking Hashem to make us holy, like He made Yaakov Avinu holy. Says Rebaruch, Zechusa Yagan Aleinu, a very interesting word. We're asking Hashem to give us Kedusha, just like He gave Kedusha to Yaakov Avinu. So what are we saying over here? We're delivering the message that even Yaakov Avinu did not have his own Kedusha. Yet the Kedusha of Yaakov Avinu started and comes about because Hashem places the seed of Kedusha in every Yid. Hashem put that seed of Kedusha in Yaakov Avinu. So we ask Hashem, Kedoshenu, Kedosh Yaakov. Make us holy just like you, Hashem. Yaakov Avinu did not all of a sudden just develop his level of Kedusha on his own. Yaakov Avinu received Kedusha from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Yaakov Avinu held on to that. So we ask Hashem, please do for us like you did for Yaakov Avinu. And if Hashem did it for Yaakov, we're asking, right, please do it for us too. And we need to understand the message that we're saying over here is that the guf, the actual physical guf, the person, the guf of a Yid is a totally different mitzias totally than the guf of a goy. The question is, why? Why are we different? Why is a Yid different? And the answer is our parsha. Because we have Kedoshim Tiyu. That we have that Koyach HaKedusha. That Koyach HaKedusha makes us different and protects us from being mitame ourselves like the Goyim. So what we're seeing from here is that it even Yaakov Avinu. Hashem takes Kaviyachol, a part of himself, takes off some Kedusha and puts it inside every Yid. So now we can understand very well why the Torah is giving us that reason. Kedoshim Tiyu. You should be Kadosh. Why? Ki Kadosh Ani Hashem Elokeichem. Because there's a part in you, every Yid, that comes from me, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kaviyachol, he's saying. Ki Kadosh Ani Hashem Elokeichem. I put something inside you. But you know what that is? You know what that is that's inside you? That is Kedusha that comes from me. Hashem is saying, it's not Stama Kedusha that was developed. Just know that I care about you so much. You are different. Hashem says to every Yid, Kedoshim Tiyu, because my Kedusha, not Stam any Kedusha, my Kedusha, just like I gave it to Yaakov Avinu, my Kedusha is now part of you. Ki Kadosh Ani Hashem Elokeichem. That thing that I gave you, that's Kedusha, straight off HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the Torah tells us even a bigger message. And that's the answer to our second question. We asked, why over here does it say, Daber el kol adas b'nei Yisrael? The reason the Torah tells us that those words, kol adas b'nei Yisrael, everybody, every person, is because you might think we're talking about very, very lofty and holy things over here. We're talking about Kedusha. That's for big tzaddikim. Someone who's a parush, someone who doesn't really know what's going on in this world, right? You don't know such people that are separate, they don't have taivas, they don't have desires, they don't have it. That's for those kind of people. The Torah says, no. Hashem gave Kedusha to every Yid, and the Torah tells us specifically, Daber el kol adas b'nei Yisrael. This commandment of Kedusha is for every single Yid, from the regular Pashut Yid to a people on a very high Madrega. Everybody, right to left, front to back, every person, everyone is involved in this. Everyone has the capability to hold on to this Kedusha and make a life of Kedusha out of their lives. Why? Because Hashem is saying, my Kedusha is in every one of you, not just the big tzaddikim of the door. Hashem goes back on the words before that. Daber kol adas b'nei Yisrael. Hashem is saying, he's speaking to me, and he's speaking to you, and every person that is sitting here, and every person in Klal Yisrael. Of course, each person on their own level. A person can't expect to become a Kadosh and a Parush and a Tar overnight. Not everybody is built that way from the beginning of time. We have to work on ourselves. Whatever you are today, you try to have a little more Kedusha in your life, a little more Shmiras Hanayim, a little more Shmiras Halasha, a little more Kedusha. Each person has a capability. Everyone on their own level. But the message that we need to understand is it's for everybody. Al kol adas b'nei Yisrael. And that's the reason too, it says in Nesivos Shalom, we talk so much about Kedusha, and it's such a great, important part of who we are as Yidden. And if you look at most of the Moinei HaMitzvahs, people who count the mitzvahs of the Torah, as far as the Kedusha is not a mitzvah, it's not one of the Taryag mitzvahs. It says in the Nesivos Shalom, a beautiful pshat, because it's not the same for everybody. When we give a mitzvah in the Torah, the Asula, we tell you to make tzitzis, to wear tefillin. Every person in the world, every person in Israel, wears the same halachas, the same tzitzis. Every person wears tefillin. We all have the same chiyuvim to honor parents, what to do. Moira for parents, kavod for parents. Everybody has the same parameters. Everybody has the same tzibur. But when it comes to Kedusha, like we said, it's for everybody. But everybody's on their own level. So it's a different mitzvah. It's a different commandment for every person. So that's not one. It's a tzibur in the Torah that we have to conduct ourselves that way. We have to be that way. But it's not one of the Taryag mitzvahs, because each person, it's tailor-made, you make for yourself, for your matzah, for your place, for your time. It's for everybody, but it's a little bit different. So Hashem gave us this gift of Kedusha. Why? Because Hashem loves us. And Hashem made us His Am HaNivchar. So He put in every Yid something that the Goyim do not have. And it's a present that we get after we put in our Hishtadlus. All the Mefarshim say that Kedusha is the kind of thing you have to take the first step. You take the first step and you watch. You take that step, Hashem will help you out. At the beginning, it's Hishtadlus, V'soifoi Matana. After that, because the Kedusha, we don't know how far it could take us. It could be so big. Hashem says, you get started. Beginning is Hishtadlus, and after that, it's a Matana. We have to internalize that lesson and make it part of us, to remember that Hashem walks among B'kerev Machanecha. Hashem wants, and He wants to live among us. Hashem wants to be with us. He wants to give things to us. But in order to have Hashem around, we have to create that atmosphere. We have to make a comfortable place where Hashem is proud, where Hashem wants to be with us. Everyone, remember, your own level. Your own level. You can't jump levels because then you fall. But that's Kedoshim to you, Daber al kol adas b'nei Yisrael, ki Kadosh ani Hashem Elokei Hashem.